Alright, so I just got to Hot Springs National Park, and I don't even really know where to go because there's so much stuff. So, anyway, here's this little visitor center that I'm gonna go to. But, like, this entire town is like a big historic district. Like, there's little statues and stuff everywhere, and there's all these. It's Hot Springs National Park, but there's literally on like every block, there's these little springs. And people are like lining up to fill their bottles up with water from the springs. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll probably try some water if I get a chance. So I just talked to the guy, and there's a bunch of little places where you can get water. They have some hot water and some cold water, and up all of it's water. Like there's fountains everywhere. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 on every block, and all of them come straight from the spring. So I mean, that water's not hot, but it's not cold either. It's pretty warm. It's bath water temperature. I don't really know what's going on with this, so I'm just going to walk around and look at everything. So this entire street is called Bathhouse Row, and they have patrolmen out here to make sure no one's on a skateboard or a bicycle on the sidewalk. And they have these old school, like 1,000-year-old fountains that are all grimy. And there's actually a place on this next block where you can pay to go in and take a bath in this bathhouse with the hot water from the springs. I don't think I'm gonna do that, but yeah, there's a bunch of crazy stuff up here. So this bathhouse in particular is advertising that they are now accepting walk-ins. You don't even have to make an appointment to take a bath. Is that a thing? Do people do that? And right across the street is the Gangster Museum of America. There's a lot of crazy stuff down here. Alright, so I guess this entire thing right here is called the Bandstand, and I'm not really sure what it is because there's a couple little things to read about it, and they said that it was for public display, but then also like they do music stuff here and have announcements for the old town, and the railway used to come through, and they used to have ceremonies for fallen soldiers. So I guess it was just like the town square kind of thing, but a really impressive town square. And then they took the railway out, but it's all paved in brick now, which is pretty cool. And then there's this Tufa Terrace Trail, which isn't very long, and it goes by, what's it called, Rouse Spring, which is historic. It doesn't really say why it's historic, but yeah, I'm gonna go check it out. Maybe it'll say. Yeah. Actually, that might be the spring right there. But yeah, I'm gonna go check that out. Hopefully it says what's so historic about it, because I've never heard of it. Yeah, I was wrong. That was not the spring. It's just like a little spillway for the water. But it's crazy to see because there's the little water drainage, and the only thing coming out of it is steam. I'm sure you can't see steam in that, but trust me, there's just steam billowing out of it all the time. You know what? I have heard of the Rouse Spring, but I didn't know that I'd heard of it. So, it used to be Rouse City. So, during the Civil War, it wasn't even a town, it was just like a collection of old, poor, and diseased people. And there was the Rouse Spring, and they thought, I guess it didn't work, I don't know, but they built a little wooden fort around this spring, and then people that were diseased or whatever would go and like bathe in the water, and I guess they thought it would cure them, or maybe they had something that was cured by the hot water. I don't know, but yeah, I've heard that before about like miracle springs that cure people, but yeah, apparently Rouse Spring was one of them. So apparently John Muir actually traveled here just to hike up this trail and sit in the Rouse Spring, which is kind of crazy. This is the first time I've ever actually been to a national park, but they're insane. Like, they have normal trails that go to normal places like every other park, except for they have roads next to it. And, like, all the trails look like this. And they're all super nice and open, and they all have little, the little boards that tell you stuff everywhere. It's like a mixture between a state park and a museum. So, in the early 20th century, it was like a big deal. It was like an honor to get to hike up these clay hills to this fountain, to this spring, so you can be healed or whatever. So it was like a big deal, and they'd have ceremonies down there. And women would put on like wedding gowns and stuff, and men would wear like suits to hike up here. It would have been cool to see that one time. So this little paved trail right here is actually the old trail, like from 100 years ago. Intersections and roadways and stuff, I have no idea what trail I'm on, so I haven't made it to the Rouse Spring, and I feel like I'm not even going that way anymore, so yeah, I don't know. I'm coming up to something. So, here's where I came out. It says Fountain Trail. I don't know. So, apparently there's a cold water spring right around here. I don't see anything, but, so, yeah. This little thing says that the hotter the water is, the more acidic it is. So, actually, by 150 years ago standards, it might have been healing some of their ailments. I've been here for almost an hour, and this is the first time I've come to an actual map. And there are a lot of really short trails here. I mean, like 12. So this little place in the middle of the Hot Springs town here, there are 14 trails. 2 of them are over a mile long. 5 of them are under a quarter mile long, and the shortest 2 are both 0.06 miles. 0.06 miles? That's like 100 feet. Alright, so basically, I think wandering around all day is not going to work. So I'm going to go back to the car, get my car, drive up to an area, and then just do it like area by area, because yeah, I was going to just show up, do a trail, show up, do a trail. That's not going to work here. It's just not going to work like that. So this little brick thing that I was talking about, this walkway, is called the Grand Promenade. So I guess it is like a military type thing, like for ceremonies. So apparently during the Civil War, they made these little iron boxes to go over all the springs, and they numbered them and hid them and locked them up so that any enemy forces that didn't have keys couldn't come through and get water. I've seen a bunch of these boxes, but I didn't know they were anything. That's nuts. Alright, there's no way that you can't see the steam coming off this one. I mean, it's uncomfortable to stand next to that thing. So I decided to drive up this National Park Road, up the mountain, just because I've never done it before, and it was a bad move. It's not bad, it's just like there's no exit. I just have to like wander around here for a long time at 15 miles an hour. 15 miles an hour, and I think this is like 12 miles. That's an hour of my day. I have no idea what this is for. Well, obviously it looks like a water tank, but I mean, I wouldn't think you'd need that for a spring. I don't know. It's well guarded though. Alright, so I've been wandering around in the woods for a couple miles now, 2 or 3, and I'm getting ready to go down into Gulfa Gorge. And apparently, there's an old swimming hole down there. Going back uphill now. The stream was down there, and there was a little place to swim. Little kids could play in or whatever, but seems like the gorge was kind of a dud, just a hill. But I think now I'm going back uphill, so I think I might be merging onto the Sunset Trail. Like if you go back and look at the map, but I don't know. It's anybody's guess, really. After I dropped off this hill, this feels more like a gorge, so maybe I was wrong and I'm not there yet. So, Sunset Trail is just on the end. It just goes in a big straight line all the way off the map, so I don't really know where it goes. I'm pretty sure this is it because I've been in this long straight line. Like it went originally on a cliff a little ways, and now it's back in the woods. I'm really hoping that this isn't all it is because, Sunset Trail, I would assume that there's high cliffs and overviews, and there's not really been that yet. You can't make this shit up. So a second ago, I was coming up this hill, and there's a group of women that were like in this group or whatever, and every one of them were injured. There were a group of injured people. It was like there was like 10 of them. Every one of them had either an ankle brace or knee brace on, and it took them like 5 minutes to pass me. And they're like, and every one was like, Christina, how's your knee doing? And she's like, oh, it feels okay for now, but I might need to rest. Like, why are you here? This Lawrence guy. So this Dr. G.W. Lawrence guy of Garland County, he bottled water from the hot springs, and he sold it as medicine and made like a fortune. It ended up being like it was called the swamp root remedy. But he, in like 1850, they patented it from underneath him and sent it to France, and it ended up being like the basis that they build medicines off of, and it was just like water from hot springs. I remember hearing, I had just listened to the Appalachian Storyteller on YouTube had a podcast about it. It's crazy to see because I literally just randomly heard it at work like maybe 2 weeks ago, but like recently. So this little doe right here is the first deer that I've seen in Arkansas. Hopefully you can see him. I mean, he's not scared of people, I guess, sitting in the middle of a national park. Oh, this is Goat Rock, and the Goat Rock's not actually a rock, it's an overview, it's a ledge. And So you walk up these stairs, and there's more of them, not there yet. There's people on the actual Goat Rock, but it overlooks this mountain range. Obviously, I can't see it all yet because I'm not there, but it's like Ouachita. I don't know what it is. It's Oachita, I think. But yeah, whenever these people move, I'm gonna go to the actual Goat Rock and take a picture. Alright, so I'm at the observation tower now, and in 1877, some guy built a tower right here, and it was 80 feet tall, and it was wood, and it burnt down, so they built another one that's 216 feet tall now. So, yeah, I'm gonna go up this thing. Hopefully, you have to go into a building. Hopefully it's not expensive, but then you walk up 15-ish flight of stairs. As it turns out, I will not be going up that tower because it is $16 to go up that tower. It's a flight of stairs. So the part of the park that has trails and whatnot I'm done with, so I moved down to the other side of town, and I found like a little, not a temp service, but like a workforce place, and I parked in their parking lot, so I'm going to just walk around the downtown area and see what I can find. I mean, the downtown's pretty typical. Some weird stuff. I mean, they had like, there was a library called Al Capone's Corner, and there was a street that was just completely painted green, the actual street. I don't know what that's about, but I stopped to look at these like murals of these Native Americans here and there. And some dude who looks like he might be homeless stopped to let me know that those were called Indians and they were here before white man. So, I came in this Fordyce building because it's got a 3-floor museum that's free. So this is a steam bath. Basically, they put spring water in there and just steam you, and you would steam. As long as it comes a long way. This place has a very evil scientist, abandoned hospital kind of feel to it. There's a healing room in here, and it's got these prescriptions that doctors would prescribe in the 1900s. And basically every one of them is just get in or drink the water. It's a little odd to walk into a women's dressing room. Somehow I feel like in the late 1800s, the men's dressing room didn't quite look like this. So these Xander machines are like, apparently this is like the biggest collection in the US of them. And they're like really primitive, like first generation workout equipment. This isn't really a massage chair. That's the room you go to if you're stressed out. They will truly make a museum about anything. The museum was, it just felt a little weird because it kind of felt like the bath thing was an excuse for, like, electroshock therapy. But I don't know. I think before I leave, I do have a big glass jar in my car. I think I'm gonna go get some hot water from the spring and drink it. Maybe it'll heal me. So this is the big turnoff where you go up the mountain. So I'm gonna go back to the car and get my map, look at my map, and see what else I can find. I'm definitely done with Bathhouse Row and Mountain Tower though. So as it turns out, James Alexander Carey in 1927 was the first National Park Service ranger to get killed in the line of duty, and it was on the mountain up there that I just hiked. So this other side by these fountains is actually where the Grand Promenade starts, or ends, or whatever. Thinking about it now, I think the Raw Spring is the only thing I never found that I even heard about. Alright, so I got some spring water in this jar. And I know why they call it hot springs. There's some stories that people say about how so-and-so drinks it hot, and they do not. You cannot drink that right now. I could boil an egg in that, but it's way too hot to drink.